Hello and welcome back to the Abundant Joy Tarot. This is Ade, and I'm just going to do a quick reading for you on how do I increase my joy. Okay, so we're going to look at, what's kind of going on with you right now, and also what might be blocking your joy, and then what actions you can take to be able to bring more joy into your life. And I was just inspired to sit down and do this reading, so I'm just doing it as we go. And so I will pick 3 piles for you, and you can go to the timestamps and pick and choose which reading you'd like to do and go from there. But let's just pull these initial cards for the reading. Okay, I hope everybody is having a abundantly joyful day. I'm so happy to have you here on this channel. It's going to be one. And if you have not yet already subscribed, please do that by clicking that button down there, or drop a comment. Let me know what resonates with you. And stay with us on this journey as we continue to find what we need to do to move forward on our soul journey toward abundance, joy, and love. Okay, so again, my name is Ade, and let's take a look at what readings we have here. So for reading number 1, we have Softly, Softly, the Tender Touch. Beautiful. Such a beautiful image. Okay. And then for reading number 2, we have Receiving. Receiving. What do you need to receive, beautiful souls? Okay, so that is for reading number 2. And then for reading number 3, we have, be the hunter and not the hunted. Okay, so those are going to be the cards that we're going to bring you into the reading. So for reading number 1, the card is number 20, Softly, Softly, the Tender Touch. Reading 2 is 27, which works out to a 9, which is Receiving. And then card 3 is 8, Be the Hunter and not the Hunted. So if something is calling to you in this type of reading, it could be more than one pile that calls to you. That's perfectly fine. Or if it's just one, you can go to that timestamp. I'm going to pull the cards as I'm doing the reading this time. Let me know, those of you who've watched before, if you prefer that, or you prefer me pulling the cards for each deck ahead of time in a separate little timestamp. Other than that, I'm looking forward to doing these readings for you beautiful souls. I hope you have a joyfully abundant day, and I'll see you soon. All right, bye-bye. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the Softly, Softly, the Tender Touch, then this is going to be your reading. We are investigating, what do we need to do to increase our joy in our life, to bring more happiness to our life? Some of you may have been struggling, and this card is a beautiful card to be over your reading. This is talking about, and there's a story that's associated with this card, which I will share that story with you. But the main thing you want to understand about this card right here is it's talking about the feminine, the divine feminine. And it's talking about needing to pull that energy, whether you're male, female, however you identify is not relevant. What's relevant here is this type of energy. And when we talk about divine feminine energy, we're talking about an energy that is not a forceful energy, right? It's not an energy that pushes things to happen, strives. We live in a world that very much devalues the divine feminine energy. The divine feminine energy is still a very powerful force, but works from a space of attracting, manifesting by inviting things to come into a space that you have prepared for it, rather than being the outward hunter to go out and get to that thing and drag it back in, right? Like, not that the masculine, there's nothing wrong with the masculine and that active energy, but this card is telling you that in order to increase your joy right now, one of the things that you need to do is increase your focus on the divine feminine, bringing things to you rather than pushing, striving, pulling, forcing things to move forward. So if you're working on a project or something like that, rather than, burning the midnight oil, 8 out, it's like, take a moment to breathe in, get clear about what it is that you want to draw into you, prepare the space, prepare the environment, right? That feels like where you want to be. That also means preparing yourself, right? Preparing your physicality. So for instance, if you want to, as we're talking about, increase more joy in your life, you want to be in that state of joy, cultivate within you what that is. What is that feeling? What does it feel like within you? Allow yourself to bask in that feeling of joy that you want to have more of in your life, and allow it to come to you. Okay, it can be a little bit counterintuitive for us in this world that we're in, because there's such a push to do, right? And this energy is about receiving. Okay, so it's a shift in the way that you're thinking about things. Now let's pull some tarot cards here and get a sense of kind of what is going on for you right now, like what is currently in your environment. Okay, so we're not necessarily looking at blockages, we're just looking at what is the actual environment. Okay, the actual environment for pile number 1, Spirit, right now in regards to their joy or just their environment. What's going on with them? So let's take a look. All right, I'm going to pull just a few cards for you all on that. This one. And let's see, we've got the Ace of Cups, the 5 of Cups, the 2 of Swords. Oops. This last one wants to come up to the King of Cups. Wow, some really beautiful energies. So it's like you all are kind of at the beginning of some things. I wanted to just pull this because it keeps coming up, this card. Okay, the 6 of Cups. A lot of cup energy here, a lot of emotional energy that you're in, which would make sense for you coming to a reading that's asking, how do I increase my joy? Now, the good news that I'm seeing here is that the current situation you're in, there's a beginning that's happening. Now, what we're seeing immediately here is the 5 of Cups. So oftentimes a beginning, if you will, follows an ending, right? So there's this sense of loss. There's a sense of maybe even not just loss, but a sense of what's the word? Lethargy, or just things going by the wayside. So this image of the 5 of Cups, he's got, he's focusing. It's like where you're focusing, right? Like focusing on what has been lost or what is no longer true, what is no longer working in your life. Okay, and because we're talking about emotions, it really is talking about your emotional world. This pile is very much focused on, what is going on for you emotionally right now. And some of you may be feeling, what I'm getting is this sense of drowning, right? Because there's so much water here, in the sense of like being almost overwhelmed by your emotionality, the feelings that you have right now, that you may be going through a big depth of feeling right now. But the good news is that there's some beautiful new energy coming in for you in regards to your world and your emotional world. Now, right in the center of your reading here, you've got the 2 of Swords. So what this tells me is that in order for this beautiful energy that is coming here, this King of Cups energy, which is like, The King of Cups is like ultimate emotional balance, emotional intelligence, abundance, love, like, this sort of sense of heart opening, whatever that might look like for you in your life. But that space of joy, of love, of abundance, of, just having the things that you need. But what's most important about the King of Cups is that he is balanced emotionally. He is not only clear about what his feelings are and how to navigate the waters of his feelings, because our emotionality can be really hard to navigate. It's very complex, rich and deep and beautiful and painful and all of that, right? But the King of Cups is able to navigate those waters easily. And not only that, but he is able to see the emotionality of the other people around him, navigate their waters, and help there to be a harmonic blend of coming together, right? So that's a beautiful thing. Now, what's standing here is this Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is about you needing to make a decision from a logical decision, if you will, from your mind space. But your mind is stopping you because in the Two of Swords, particularly in this deck, she's got that blindfold on, but she put that blindfold on herself. So there's something that is happening in your world that you're not wanting to look straight at. You're not wanting to really take off your blindfold and be clear about what it is that you need to do to move forward. So because this is sitting in the center of your reading, I feel like where you are right now is you're in a bit of a stuck place, not allowing yourself to look wholeheartedly at the situations that are going on in your life so that you can begin to open up this world of emotionality. There's a new beginning that has occurred here, and then there's a loss that has occurred. And rather than focusing on the remaining cups, remember, it only takes one cup with this beautiful Ace of Cups to begin the flow of abundance. And you've got two cups over here that are still standing up, ready to move forward with, ready to overflow for you. But you've got to turn your focus away from the loss that's happening in your life. Take your blinders off, make the decision that you need to make, and invite. Use your feminine divine energy, whether you're masculine, male or female, but use that energy to invite the joy, the abundance, the love that you want in your life. And you're going to find that as you begin to do this, there will be a flow of generosity. The Six of Cups is also a nostalgia cup. So it can talk about it talks about like charity, but it also talks about like nostalgia, right? So that sense of like this inner child being able to receive that which you have always needed, right? So there's this sense of like making a choice that you know how to make, y'all. This is what I'm getting very clearly, that the decision that's made here is just one that you're nervous about making it because it may have been something that has happened in the past. Like you may be dealing with the situations that's similar to something that you've dealt with in the past. But what Spirit is telling you is that it's going to be different this time, beloved. But you're going to have to take your blinders off and look at the situation in a real light, okay? Use your discernment. You've been given your discernment. You've learned the lessons that you've learned in the past so that you can begin to expand the joy and the abundance in your life. Okay, so take those blindfolders off and let's get moving. Now let's see what else might be blocking you. So I feel like one of the big blockages that we're seeing right now for you is around making that decision, really looking at something clearly, okay, so I've got two cards here that popped out. Oops. In terms of blockage. Now this is really interesting. You've got creativity and you've got injury. Okay, these are the two Crow cards. So you've got creativity and you've got injury in terms of a blockage that's happening here, okay, with your oracle cards. So I feel like part of what's happening is, now the thing about the Crows and creativity, it talks about using the resources that they have available to them and using them in a creative way. So being innovative, right? Taking what it is that you have. So for instance, if you're in a situation that seems similar to something else that you have dealt with, whether that be emotionally, whether that be at work, whether that be within your family dynamic. It's about taking what is there available to you and being creative with it, doing something different, taking that same old ramen that you've been dealing with, and rather than just putting the package in, throw in some veggies. Chop up some onions and some garlic and some broccoli and toss in a little bit of soy sauce and make that ramen shine. Okay, it's about taking what you have available to you and making something new and fresh from it. Creativity. Now, though some of you, now this seems to be in alignment with the Five of Cups here, have had some type of injury. Okay, some type of injury. Now, I want to make sure. What am I looking for here? I want to make sure I'm giving you all the information on this injury card, because this was, I believe, from the additional deck. The Crow cards got extension cards, and so I got additional cards that were added to the Crow cards. So the injury card, it talks about an injury can cause a great deal of stress for a crow. An injured bird unable to fly, it is at its most vulnerable. Fear due to an injury can cause the animal to go into fight or flight mode, resulting in resisting or fighting to free itself, causing further harm. What I'm really getting off of this right here is, this says when we are physically or emotionally injured, stress can overwhelm us, and like an injured bird, we too may enter into fight or flight mode, okay? This may cause us to experience a panic attack, lash out, overcompensate, or resist help, and in doing so, we are like a wounded bird. So one of the things that is really very clear here is that some of you all may be wounded in some way. Part of it is this loss that you've been going through, that you have dealt with. One of the things you need to be conscious of is, how are you healing yourself? How are you, when, for instance, if a bird is injured and we find a bird injured, we need to protect that bird from harming itself. And now I'm looking at you, beloveds. What are you doing for yourself to protect yourself as you are healing from your injury? Okay. How can you avoid certain situations so that you can have the peace, the calm that you need to heal? When animals are wounded, they go still, they go silent. They put all of their resources within their bodies toward healing their bodies, okay? Giving themselves rest. So we talked about what are the blockages here. There's a way in which you need to provide space for your healing as you are in this transition. So one, you need to take your blindfold off, make the decision that you need to do that is best for yourself. And two, you need to be able to look at things in a different way. Look at your resources in a different way. How can you use them in a creative way to be able to make something new? And three, you need to really look at, what are you doing to protect yourself as you would as a wounded animal protects itself while you're going through your healing, okay? So these are all things that are going to make the way to lead you to a more balanced place emotionally, which is going to increase your joy. All right. I was going to pull a couple of cards, and actually now with this, because I feel like your blocks here are very clear. We've got one card here, so I'm going to, oh, no, it gave me three. All right, so let's see what we've got here. So again, I was looking at, kind of what is blocking you in terms of receiving more joy, okay? Now you've got the Ace of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and look at that. We've got a double King of Cups. That's really interesting. And the King of Pentacles. Okay, so one of the things that's really jumping out here that's very clear is that we've got this Two of Swords, which I'm telling you about needing to go into your headspace and make a decision about something that you're not looking at, that's unblindfolding you. And one of the things here is this Ace of Pentacles is talking about another beginning, right? But it's of an idea, something that is of the physical world, something that you can either work on, or a creative project, or just a way in which you need to connect with other people. people. And there is a block, was we're talking about blockages here. So you're not allowing yourself to make a decision about some new project, some new idea, some new relationship that is going to lead you to this King of Cups, because we keep getting the King of Cups. Now we got the King of Cups here, which is just what is going on in the general environment, okay? And then here we're talking about what is blocking you, what is moving forward. And I feel like what we're seeing here is that the energy that you need to be able to move yourself to a space of glory is more balance, more emotional balance, tapping into your emotional intelligence, right? Allowing yourself to have peace of mind, to be able to tap into your heart chakra and understand what it is that you love. What are you truly feeling? Okay? Tapping into what are you truly feeling. And then you've got this King of Pentacles, which, because we're talking about blockages, I feel like many of you may be worried about finances, worried about what it is that you're going to need to be able to do what you need to bring yourself joy. And what I want to tell you, because Spirit is saying to me very clearly, what you need to focus on is what it is that's going to bring you joy. And do not focus on the finances or how you're going to get said joy. To trust that, allow the universe to move you forward in that direction, and trust yourself to just cultivate, as I was saying in the beginning of the reading, that feeling of joy. Okay, that feeling of joy. What does it feel like in your body? How would it express? What would it, how would you actually wake up every day? What would you think about? What would be on your mind? What would you not be thinking about if you were filled with the joy that you want to have? Okay, and allow yourself to put those things aside and focus on the joy. And I promise you that more joy will come. The King of Pentacles in this position here, because it's talking about blockages, is really letting me know that you need to not focus on the finances, but it's also reassuring me that at the end of the day, you're going to come to a place of great abundance. All right. So now let's take a look at what is the guidance. What do you need to do in order to bring about that greater abundance, okay, a greater joy, okay, because we're talking about increasing joy. So for pile number one, Spirit, what do they need to do or know to bring about more joy or abundance for them? And we got a bunch of cards here, so let's try. Okay, pile number one. It's this one. And this one, maybe another one, but we'll see. All right, so I feel like it's this way. So we've got the Emperor, Two of Wands, ooh, the Lovers, and the Fool. Beautiful. Okay, wow. Pile number one, this message feels very, very clear to me in terms of increasing your joy. Now, I did actually want to pull a couple of oracle cards, but these are such strong cards because they're major arcana cards. First of all, you've got the Emperor, okay? And the Emperor here is a very strategic thinker. The Emperor is abundant. The Emperor is, it's about being in your own power, okay? We started this reading talking about Advocate, okay? So we started this reading looking at the feminine energy and you needing to like be into the feminine energy. The Emperor is going to be your masculine energy, but it's interesting that it's Emperor and not like the King of Wands or the King of, because the Emperor is so on top of his game that he's strategically overseeing things. And this Emperor is beautiful because he's got covered in roses here. And he's got like this sort of abundance, right? He's very clear that he is on top of the world, right? He is managing things. So in terms of bringing about your abundance, and your joy. It's about, and then I pulled this card, which is the advocate card. So it's like advocating for yourself. There's a sense of you being very clear about what it is that you want, what you desire, what is going to bring you joy, and being able to advocate for yourself, trusting and knowing that you deserve it, and walking in that space of the emperor. Like I can feel the energy of just walking in your own strength and walking in your own power and owning your joy. Understand that anything that you want that's going to bring you joy is your birthright. Okay, so stepping into that sense of knowingness, that is also a feminine power as well. Actually, it's just like this sense of knowing your divinity, right? And walking in that divinity. Then you've got this Two of Wands card, which she's literally holding the world. And again, you've got these two. So you've got the Two of Swords and you've got the Two of Wands. Both of these are about making decisions. This one is about really choosing to make that decision that's going to bring you the world, that's going to take you out into the world, taking your ideas and going forth towards your soul's purpose. Okay. So it's really at this point, what you need to do is to really like make that decision, take that blindfold off from the Two of Swords in your current world, and then start making decisions that are focused on how you can open the world to yourself. Okay. You've got the Lover's card, which the Lover's card is also about choice, y'all. So it's about connection. It's about heart-centered connection. So there may be a way in which you're going to be connecting with others in order to move yourself forward in a space of joy. It could also be a love connection, because we did start the reading here with the Ace of Cups. Okay. So which is the beginning of a love-centered connection. Okay. But I feel like for you, it's also about choice, because you've got so much about choice here, and it's followed up by the Fool, which is about taking a risk. So you needing to take a risk toward that which is going to bring you joy. That's what you're clear about. You may find other soul-centered connections in that journey that's going to be able to magnify your joy. But the first step for you, beloved, is to be able to make a decision. Make a decision to move yourself forward, okay? Move yourself forward. Now, I am going to ask for clarification, Spirit, on why is the Lovers here? Can you give us a little more clarity? I feel like it is closer to choice. King of Pentacles. Wow. So there's this sense of like when you come together, and we've got this King of Pentacles. I knew that King of Pentacles was talking about where we're going to. Okay. I felt that when I put it down. And here we've got that confirmation here that the King of Pentacles, now King of Pentacles has solid foundation of extremely abundant, right? But like solid abundance, like the foundation that's like generational wealth abundance, right? The King of Pentacles is also, the abundance comes from hard work. So there's a wisdom and knowingness that is there with the King of Pentacles about earthly things. Okay. And so this Lover's connection, because I'm asked for clarification on this Lover's connection, I feel like your choices that you need to be looking at and making need to be connected to what is going to bring you joy. Is for you also about foundational stability. What is going to bring you the foundational stability that you have in your life? And in addition, what I'm seeing here is that your connections with other people can support you in your foundations. All right. Just make sure that they're the right connections is what I'm hearing very clearly, because some of you may have recently been through a loss with someone, and this reading is not telling you to go back to that loss. It's actually telling you to focus on the two cups that are still standing and move yourself forward in a new direction. Okay. This part of the reading is about newness. It is not about past. Okay, so I just want to be really clear about that. And Spirit, can you give us any clarification on this Fool card here? Wow, justice. So the thing is that, so for you, in terms of making the decision, you're going to make this decision to move yourself out into the world. And then you're going to take a risk. You're going to need to take a risk, but you're trusting that the universe is going to catch you. And this Justice card is confirming that 100% you will be caught, that the scales will be balanced in your direction, and that whatever you've been suffering from in the past is going to, whatever you lost is going to come full circle to you. Okay. But your goal Pile one is to be able to look honestly at the decisions that you need to make. Take your blindfold off. Make decisions that push you out into the world. Why not, pile one? You are a beautiful soul. You are here to live a life experience. Do those things that call your heart. The heart is your connection to God and spirit. Do those things that bring you joy, that make you feel love and light. That is what God is. God is love. So what is it that you love? What draws you in? Okay, pile one, go in that direction. Make decisions based on that. All right. And then finally, Spirit, what guidance do you have for this beautiful set of people who have chosen pile one? What additional guidance do you have for them at this time on their journey to increase their joy? Rock bottom. I keep feeling like it's that card because it keeps showing up. Into the unknown. And sad embrace. Okay, so what I'm understanding from here is that many of you may have felt like you had, in a sense, hit rock bottom, or that things had, gotten to this place. It's falling right over this Five of Cups again. So it's just this reminder of a loss. But the thing is that what we do when we hit rock bottom is we surrender, because that's all you can do. And what a beautiful blessing that is, to be able to surrender and let the universe come in and guide you forward. Okay. You may feel like you're walking into the unknown. It's so interesting that Spirit has put this into the unknown card right over the Two of Swords, where you've got this blindfold on. So Spirit is confirming that, yes, in fact, you are sitting in a space where it feels like there are some things that are unknown to you. There are some things that are unclear, but Spirit is encouraging you to take off your blindfold. Okay. It's saying that you need to trust. There's a sense of surrender, trust, and all will be revealed. Okay. Life is an adventure, and often new opportunities will arise that you won't know how to deal with. All right. But this is one of those times. All right. So we started with this cup, this Ace of Cups, new beginnings, right? New ideas are coming forward. You may be unclear on what to do, but you're required to trust that this new phase will reveal wonders and miracles as you step into unknown territory. Whatever it is that you're concerned about, and we're talking about what will bring us joy, trust that you'll be safe in this process of doing something new to achieve your joy. Stay aware as you discover new and marvelous territories and valuable treasures. I'm hearing very clearly from Spirit too that there is a need for you to do something different. You've got the Fool card here. You've got this into the unknown, this idea of taking risks, trying something new. If you have always enjoyed cooking or whatever, take a cook class, like learn something different, watch a bunch of YouTubes, go and get some things from the store to start a new and different meal. If you've always been interested in, I don't know, hiking or whatever, like join a group that like goes out on a hike and do that for yourself. Find those things that may be different, that would be a risk outside of your norm, of your day-to-day, that allow you to just be in your joy. Okay. And then the sad embrace is understanding that loss is a part of life, and it's time to let go and allow yourself to heal. So just as we were talking about with the injury of the bird, there's a need for you to take some space. And Spirit is saying they are right here. They are holding you in the sad embrace. So if many of you are in a place of grief or loneliness, or recently lost someone close to you and dear to you, there's a need for you to cover yourself. Understand that as you cover yourself, that Spirit is covering you. It's just wrapping you, okay, in love, in hope, in abundance. It's a part of our life journey. We have to just walk through it, okay? So that is what I'm seeing for you today. I hope that this gives you some ideas and tools to be able to move yourself forward and toward your joy. Embrace the new, pile one. Take risks. And I truly believe that Spirit is going to lead you right into your abundant joy. So thank you for joining the channel today. I look forward to seeing you again soon, and I'll see you in your next reading. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, share, comment. All of that is great. All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Pile one, I cleared your reading and forgot to tell you the story. I was going to tell you. So this is still pile one. We've already finished your reading, but I wanted to go back to the story that I mentioned about this card at the beginning of your reading. Okay? And the story is an old story about the sun and the wind. Okay? And they were debating who was more powerful. And after boasting about their prowess, they made a wager. They made a bet. And a man walked down the street with a coat on. The wind and the sun decided that whomever could force the coat off of the man was the most powerful. The wind began demonstrating its impressive power. It blew and caught underneath the coat, pulling it and nearly ripping it right off of the man. But the man wrapped his coat around himself more tightly to protect himself, right, against the force of the wind. Eventually, perhaps temporarily out of puff, the wind gave up. The sun took over. He shone down, or she shone down, becoming brighter and brighter until the man slipped off his coat, slung it over his shoulder, and walked down the street, quite possibly wondering what was happening to the weather that day. So the wind attempted to do by force what the sun was able to do by being. You are being asked to surrender your forcefulness, your determination, and your intense activity, even if just for the moment. Okay, so this is all about that feminine power, right? I really see the sun as the feminine power there, creating the experience, creating the space, simply being who she was in all of her fire, forced the man to remove his coat and adapt to her being. Okay, that's what the key message of this card is. And it's really important for your overall reading, pile one. So hopefully that gives you a little additional piece of insight. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you in your next reading. Okay, bye-bye. Hello, pile number two. This is the Abundant Joy Tarot, and if you chose 27, receiving, then this is your reading. And we are talking about how can we increase our joy. What is going on right now? What might be blocking us? And what do we need to do to increase our joy? And your overarching card that drew you into this reading, and that is the energy that is covering your reading, is receiving, okay? And I loved the image on this card. It is about receiving from the universe, receiving in whatever capacity in your life. The card itself says that you are so loved. Your every need is witnessed and responded to by the universe. However, you sometimes forget this, and you become too swept up in your world, in the as they say, habitual consciousness, and you forget to take a moment to stop, breathe, and be, because it's in that moment you can receive the love of the universe that is receiving you. It will nourish you with contentment and energy. There's a need for you to stop, beloveds, who are in pile number two. It's a need. There's a need for you to be able to receive what the universe, the people around you, the nature, the strangers actually are offering to you in your day-to-day. Many of you may be so busy with just getting from task A to task B that you're not taking a moment to take in the blessings that are coming your way. It starts by recognizing the little small blessings that come your way. Oh, I got a parking space, right on time. Oh, thank you. Just feeling that sense of joy, but allowing yourself to actually feel that joy. Oh, I found another quarter in my pocket to be able to put this change on whatever it is that I'm purchasing, right? Like that moment, just taking a moment to just feel the joy of that, of the way that you are taken care of, both in the seen and unseen on a regular basis. Be open to receiving. This card also talks about this idea of when we are, as they say, demure, right? Or if we're saying, oh, I cannot accept that. Oh, it's too great a gift. Oh, I'm not worthy. You're impeding the flow, okay? You're impeding the flow of the universe because it brings really everyone, and particularly Spirit and God, great joy to give to you. But, oftentimes, I've been with friends who you give them a gift and they can't receive it, or it's, they're, oh, I don't deserve that. And it takes away from the flow of the joy, because the giver also receives by the way that you receive. When you receive something fully, it is a gift to the giver as well. Okay. So it's about being able to recognize and receive the gifts that are coming to you in your life. There's a need for you to take more time to receive the gifts that are there for you. Okay. I think that the camera is not out far enough, is what I'm thinking. See if I can adjust it here. Wrong way. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to look at the overall situation of what is going on for you right now in regards to the joy in your life. What is going on, Spirit, for pile number 2 in regards to joy or lack of joy in their life? What guidance can you give us? These are covered because of the YouTube. Around what is going on for pile number 2. What is their current situation? What is happening for them? I feel like I need to do another shuffle of these. Okay, so let's see. This definitely feels like the top card. The Star. Okay. The 10 of Pentacles. Interesting. The Moon. The 2 of Pentacles. And the Queen of Wands reversed. Okay. Let's see what's going on at the bottom of the deck. And the 7 of Pentacles. Okay. So the 7 of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck. This is what's going on in undercurrent. So that lets me know that, interesting. Okay. So what's happening right in the middle of your, what's in your situation right now is the Moon. So that lets me know that something is sort of hidden from you right now. Now, these 2 first cards are beautiful cards that start. So some of you may be in a space in your life right now where you're going through some healing. The Star card is all about sort of self-healing, self-knowing. You may have actually gone through some paces where you had been through a period of suffering, but you are actually in a place of healing right now, in the process of healing. The thing that's tricky about healing, I'll say pile number 2, is that it is a beautiful process, okay? It is a beautiful journey. It's a beautiful process. There are spaces when you are actually in the process of healing, when you're actually in the process of making things better in your life, when it feels like you've kind of dipped into the waters of the unknown. Things feel murky. Things feel unclear, like what we see here in this moon card here, because you've got the Star and the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is like that fairy tale life of where we want to be, right? It is abundant. It is not only so abundant, but so abundant that you're able to give to others. So some of you may be in a place where you actually have done quite a bit of healing and you're actually giving to people in ways that you have not given in the past. All right. But there's something that's going on underneath the current. Something is hidden from you. Okay. And I feel like part of that has to go with with this Seven of Pentacles that is going on underneath the current. In other words, there is a project, something that you're trying to bring to harvest that you've been working on diligently for some time, but you're not seeing the results of it. That could be your healing that you're doing right now, right? It could be that you've been on the process. You've seen some traction because it's the Seven of Pentacles. You've seen some growth. You can look back and say, okay, I'm not where I started for sure. I definitely have some things here that I have cultivated or grown, but you're not seeing the full harvest. You're not seeing this full Ten of Pentacles, right? Of the larger project that you've seen. So some things may have come to fruition, but not the full project. And this is what's kind of going on under the undercurrent. And there's some emotional things that are going on there as well. Now, the Two of Pentacles is here. And then we've got the Queen of Wands reversed. So this is telling me that the Queen of Wands is a very powerful energy in the arcana. Okay. She is creative. She is passionate. She is able to make decisions and be very discerning, but do it from a space of like sort of love and passion and creativity. She has an air of the flamboyant, right? She is also a great leader. Okay. She is diligent. She is beautiful. Okay. Just magnetic, has a magnetism to her that is very strong. Now, it's challenging because she's in reverse here. So this lets me know that, you're either not fully tapping into that power, not tapping into your creativity, not tapping into your magnetism, or you're kind of, what I'm hearing is you're hiding your light under a bushel, okay? You're not allowing yourself to fully shine. And that has to do with some decisions that you need to make, because we've got this Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles it's about decisions, but it's also kind of more so about balancing harmonies, that things are out of balance. So it may be that as you've been on your healing journey right now, you've seen some success. And you may have thought, oh, okay, I'm healed, I'm moving forward, right? But you're not giving yourself the space and time that this card is talking about with regard to receiving, with actually taking a breath, with actually taking account of all of the growth that you have had, breathing it in, allowing yourself to truly feel the gift of the universe that has gotten you to where you are today. Like, I'm not talking, this is not about scolding yourself. It's not like, oh, I didn't make a gratitude list. That's what I needed to do. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you need to give yourself the space to really enjoy it, receive it, feel the joy of where you are today, acknowledging that it's not where you were yesterday. It's not where you were a year ago. It's not where you were 3 years ago. You have been on a journey of growth and healing. Allow yourself to feel what that has brought to you in your life. For some of you, I'm really seeing a need for you to pull away from your world in some way, go on a vacation, like either by yourself or by someone who's very, tender and close to you, that would allow you to be able to have space within yourself, moments of peace, moments of stillness, to be able to focus on joy. Focus on the increasing joy in your life, not time to contemplate, oh, how do I solve this? How do I work on this? How do I move forward this? Oh, I'm still pushing. I need to make this happen. No, what I want you to do is take a moment to stop and focus all of your attention and time and energy on the joy that is currently manifesting in your life, so that you can cultivate more of it, and envisioning the future joy that you want to have so that you can further explode and expand this 10 of Pentacles. Okay, that's what I'm seeing with your current situation right now. So let's take a look to see what might be blocking you. What might be blocking you from increasing your joy right now in your world, pile 2? What might be blocking you? So Spirit, you could give us a few cards. We got one. I feel like it's this one. And then I'm going to pull some tarot. What might be blocking my beautiful souls who chose pile number 2 from increasing the joy that you would have for them, God? Because we already know you are love, you are joy, you are abundance, and we want to be closer to you. So what does pile 2, what is pile 2? What's blocking pile 2 from fully receiving an increase of joy in their life? And let's see what we've got. So we've got, oops, 1, 2, 3. There is that 10 of Pentacles again. There's something about your belief in what is possible for you. Okay, that's the first thing. And then the Tower is at the bottom of the deck. Look at this. Community. Knight. Interesting. All right. And you've got... All right. Okay. So clearly, part of what's blocking you from increasing your joy right now is a burden that you've been carrying, a loss that has happened, possibly a recent tower moment where something has destroyed something, pushed something out of your life. Okay. Now the tower moment generally comes, we all get tower moments. Okay. There's no need. The thing is that the tower moment provides a way for new growth, provides a way for a new opening. When things are no longer palatable for your soul, the universe steps in and says, okay, we're done. Like, we're done here. We're going to do something different. All right. And things just start to come down. The reason why tower moments are so scary and frustrating for a lot of us is that they feel like they're out of our control, because in some ways they are. Because they're, at that point, it's like the universe has just said, no, beloved, this, for your better good, this has got to come down. And it's got to come down now. Right. And so it's hard. It is hard. And it's oftentimes hard to see that it is opening up a new way. It's hard to get to that space. Okay. Because we'll get caught up in this 10 of Swords, and the 10 of Swords is all about a completion. It's a death. It is a letting go. Okay. It is a defeat. Okay, it feels like it is a defeat. So some of you may have been on your soul journey, on your healing journey, right? On your soul journey, okay? On your healing journey, seen some success, and then had a moment, a tower moment, where something that you had not yet been able to deal with that was going on underneath the surface. And this moon, it's like the moon card really talks about emotions being underneath the surface. So oftentimes we go on a heal journey, we think, oh, we're healing from this. And then when we heal from that one thing that we've healed from, all of a sudden we realize, oh, actually that was just what we were using to cover what is really hurting us. And we didn't even know what that was because it was covered by this. So for instance, like one example of that might be if somebody is an alcoholic, right? And their alcoholism could cause a tower in their life. Like everything's shut down, right? They lost their job, they broke up their relationship or whatever, they hit rock bottom, okay? And so then they start to go on a healing journey, right? And so they start recovering, they start to build a community, they start to get some success with their healing, they're getting stronger, they're seeing things that to them are like the 10 of Pentacles because they've not had that before, right? Friendship, connection, a greater self-respect. And then bam, something comes in and it's like, oh, The reason why I started drinking in the first place was because of some abuse that I experienced earlier in my childhood that I chose not to even look at. Okay. So this is just an example. This might not be your situation. This reading can apply to multiple situations. It does not have to do with alcohol at all. But my point is that when you start on a healing journey, sometimes you think you're healing from one thing. And then as you start to get underneath the surface, you realize, oh, that what I was healing from was just covering this. Okay. And you may find that you get through this, whatever this new thing is, and it was also because we're layered, we're complex, we're constantly trying to protect ourselves on our journey. And depending on what our life story has been, there are ways in which certain things that we did were important for our survival at a given time, but then they can be harmful to us if we continue to do the same thing in a different environment. Okay. And so what I'm seeing here for you all is some of what is blocking you. Because I'm asking here, what is blocking you? And the first card that comes up here is community. Okay. Community is not always a bad thing, but sometimes the communities that we're in can block us from our joy. Okay. Because they have become a staple. There's something that, we always need to have around us. So Spirit is really asking you to take a look at the communities in your life. Which communities are bringing you joy and which communities are not bringing you joy? Decrease your exposure to the ones that are not bringing you joy and increase your exposure to those communities that are. Okay. And in order to do that, you've got to be very clear and honest with yourself. You have to have been on a healing journey to even be able to have that level of discernment. So congratulations to you, pile number 2, for being at a place to be able to get to this next level of healing, because it's a beautiful journey here. Now you've got the 5 of Cups, which lets me know that you definitely recently had a loss. There's definitely been some things that maybe have not been working totally in your favor, if you will. But the challenge with the 5 of Cups is that we are focusing on that which is going away and not focusing on the 2 cups that are still bountiful, right? That are still hold magic for us. Okay. And so Spirit is asking you to, again, this whole idea of community here is about looking at those spaces that are bringing you joy and leaning into those spaces, leaning into that joy. Okay. Now this Knight card is interesting. Okay. It is saying here that it is here that all the chatter, all the noise, all the action of the day subsides in the nighttime, right? Quiet returns. Night creates a space to contemplate the day as a whole. What event had the most significant impact and will help you grow? Are there events such as petty squabbles that serve you little and can be released into the dark? Night brings to your awareness, okay, the things that you need to focus on in your journey, all right? The ability to get a solid 8 hours of sleep has been proven to not only help your mood, but improve your health. Are you getting enough sleep? What are you doing with your nights? When the Knight card appears, you may need to focus on creating healthy routines at night and with your sleep. This goes back to the receiving card that we talked about here, okay? This sense of stillness and quiet, being conscious of using that time when night comes in, when your body slows down, so that you can focus on that which is working and then release that which is not working. Find a way in the new day to reach out to those things that are further growing your joy, further bringing you on your path to joy, love, and abundance. All right. So the sense of taking a look at your communities with regards to what's blocking you. Understand that, yes, you've been suffering, my loves, and I am so sorry to see that and hear that and feel that. But the thing about the 10 of Swords is that, as in this image, I love this image of the 10 of Swords. She is looking at the horizon. She is looking at the new day. The pain is over, beloveds. The thing is, we suffer longer than we need to, even when the pain is over. It's just like a child that gets a shot at the doctor and they're, and they get their shot. The shot is over. They are no longer in pain and they are still wailing. Okay. But the pain is over. If they can just recognize, take a moment to breathe and recognize when someone says, baby, is it still hurting you? No, here's a lollipop. Let's go. You know what I mean? This is what you need to do for yourself, okay? It's like, okay, beloved, I know that was painful and I'm sorry you had to go through it. But the pain is over, love. It is over. You are choosing to suffer. So it's time to pick up your lollipop that the universe has given to you. Put that smile back on your face and keep going. All right? Keep going. Focus on the things that you still have in front of you. And that is going to lead you to this 10 of Pentacles. The other thing that I'm getting off of this card right now intuitively is that one of the things that's blocking you is your belief that it's all or nothing. That the 10 of Pentacles, like either you have the 10 of Pentacles, which is like everything, the community, the wealth, the abundance, the relationship, the dog smiling, everything, or you have nothing, right? And Spirit is saying that's blocking you. That is blocking you. You need to take it one step at a time, okay? And recognize each piece of that 10 of Pentacles as it comes into fruition. The 10 of Pentacles does not come into fruition all at once, right? You are on the path to it. It's recognized here, okay? And so what Spirit is saying is, in terms of it blocking you, the only thing that's blocking you is your thought process and thinking that, oh, it has to be here or nothing is happening. That is just not true. So give yourself the space to grow into your full 10 of Pentacles, celebrating all the while, okay? Celebrating all the while. Now, let's take a look at what is the guidance from Spirit on what it is that you need to do or know in order to increase your joy. Spirit, what does my beautiful souls in pile 2 need to do or know with regards to bringing in more joy? Okay, that's my 4. So it was the Knight of Cups, 9 of Cups, 4 of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, ooh, lovely, and the King of Cups. I love it. Let's see what's here at the bottom of the deck. 3 of Pentacles. This is bringing us back to community, okay? 3 of Pentacles. Back to community. It's at the end of the deck there. Okay, so you've got the 9 of Cups in terms of bringing in your joy, okay? The 9 of Cups is the wish fulfillment card in the deck, okay? It is a gift from the universe, all right? Now, it's so beautiful that you got this card and the receiving card. The receiving card is the universe really just saying to you, beloved, please receive this gift from me with all of your heart, with all of your joy, with all of your hope, with all of your faith. Know that I am bringing you a gift. I am bringing a wish to you and fulfilling it with you. In order for you to be able to receive it, you've got to take the time to receive that gift from the universe, okay? So this is a beautiful reading in terms of how you can increase your joy. It is about surrendering. It is about receiving. It is about continuing on the journey that you're on. It is about letting go of the grief, of the loss, of the pain, picking up your lollipop and then seeing what else the universe is bringing to you, because the universe is bringing you more than that lollipop, loves, okay? More than the lollipop. Hallelujah. And you've got the 4 of Wands. The 4 of Wands is going to be about a foundation, okay? It's going to be about a celebration. It's going to be about coming together to build something. I love this image up here because there's this sense of like sort of standing on top of the world. There's sort of light and growth and a new horizon on a newness on the horizon, right? That is coming into being, right? And this is really talking about this reminder of stepping away from that Ten of Swords and moving into newness. And then you've got this beautiful Wheel of Fortune card, which is telling me that fortune is moving in your direction. Things are turning in your direction. Now, what stands out to me in this card is that the first wheel at the top is surrounded around her heart. There's a need for you to turn your heart in the direction of what brings you joy, okay? Turn your heart in the direction of what brings you joy. She's also holding a compass here, okay? And a little time. Is this a compass or a time clock? Let me see. I feel it like a compass. I see it as a time clock. So it lets me know that you need to move your heart. That's the compass, right? The heart is the compass, moving in the direction of your heart's flow. And that there's a need for you to be about it, right? There's a ticking time of things moving in your direction. You beloveds in pile number 2, what I just got a very strong image of is you need to pick yourself up from that Ten of Swords posture. Oftentimes, I love the way this shows. Oftentimes the Ten of Swords will show, the body laying down flat with the swords in it. And I just got this image of that same image, like rising up, standing full up, and literally pulling the swords out of you one by one, just taking them suckers out, wiping yourself, washing off those wounds, and moving toward the horizon, okay? This is the time, beloveds. Pull those swords out of you, okay? They're no longer hurting you. You have completed whatever that pain was, and you are moving into something new, okay? And this is lovely because you've got the King of Cups here, and the King of Cups is this beautiful energy of being able to fully navigate the emotional waters, that which is in the depths of you. And I love that you got it in this deck because it's like managing what is on the surface and what is below the surface. And because I believe that this pile, many of you are already on a healing journey, but you've just got to a place in your journey where you've gotten to some deeper emotions that are harder to deal with, that maybe feel like they got you down, like they got you, like you almost felt like they were going to end you, right? But God and Spirit is saying, beloved, you are not ended. Oh, no. This is just the beginning of brand new wishes, brand new abundance, brand new joy in your life. Let your heart be your compass and move yourself forward, loves. Move yourself forward. I'm going to ask Spirit for any additional guidance or insight that they might have for you in regards to your journey at this time. Okay. In regards to your journey at this time. Oops. Okay. So I'm going to take this one that was on top. I'm going to take, there is one that keeps coming up. That one. I guess it is that one. I'm listening to you, Spirit. Okay, so you got details, which is about, he's got all turned around. This is about magic prayers at the bottom of the deck. Beautiful. Okay. So you've got details. So this is 43, which is a 7. And this is about, and again, we've got this image of the compass here. Okay. And one of the things about this card is it's about clarity. It's about looking into the details of things. And many of you have been on a journey, like I said earlier, and you're now looking at things at a new level, at a new depth. Okay, so there's a need for you to look at the details of what is happening within your heart, is what I'm hearing, okay, in your healing process. Look at the details of what is happening in your heart, beloved, okay. Some of you, what I'm hearing is that some of you are getting feelings that you don't understand. So for instance, you might be with someone that you have loved and cared about for a while, but all of a sudden you're irritated, you're agitated with them on a regular basis, right? And you're not really quite sure where that's coming from. And Spirit is asking you to look into the details of that, because there's something about that connection, that relationship, how you're treated, that no longer works with who you are as a healed or healing individual. When we're on a journey of healing, sometimes what our soul used to accept when we were a bit more wounded, your soul will no longer accept it with ease. Okay. So for instance, if you have a friend that is very sarcastic, okay, we'll just use that. Someone who's very sarcastic. You've always hung with this friend. You ain't had no problems. It was all cool. And they're always been really sarcastic and kind of demeaning to you in sort of that sarcastic way. And you just let it roll off of your back. But when you get to a place of healing where you value yourself at a higher level, all of a sudden that sarcasm is not funny. It's not funny. It's not soothing. It's not fun. It's not even something you want to be around. Okay. So then all of a sudden you're like, you either have to set some boundaries and say, you know what, this used to be acceptable for me, but it ain't acceptable for me. So one of the things that I'm understanding from this card of the details is that some of you are in a space where you're just discovering that newness within you, and you're not quite sure what it is. And so this is part of the reason why you need to sit back and receive too, is that you need to be clear about what it is so that you can set the boundaries that you need to set with the people in your life or the things in your life, even the responsibilities that you have accepted in your life that may have been laid on you that really were not your responsibility, but you're doing it and you've been doing it for some time. But now that you've gotten to a healing space, you're like, no, I need to spend my time doing this. This is what my sole purpose is, not helping this individual do stuff that they should have been doing on their own a long time ago, right? So there's a need for you to really look at the details of your heart, okay? And follow that. Get clarity, make decisions, build boundaries, and move forward with that. So I get different things from that card sometimes, but that's what I get from this. You've got this peaks of joy. You are a beautiful spirit, Pal 2. Within you, you've got a joy that is literally blossoming inside of you. So in terms of increasing your joy, part of that again is receiving, because it is already within you. You are a spirit that actually has quite a bit of joy. Okay. And so it's a need for you to be able to tap into that. I love that she's like leaping forward like a butterfly, allowing her joy to be infectious to those around you. Sometimes when you're in community with people that are not of the same makeup, if you will, in terms of their joy content, there can be a real drain on you as an individual when your spirit is really filled with so much joy. And spirit is asking you to allow your joy to be contagious. Let your joy fill the room. Do not stifle your laugh. If you've got one of those loud, boisterous laughs, do not for one moment stifle that laugh. Allow yourself to let that joy come out and come full force. If you feel like, it's a rainy day and everybody's gloomy and doomy and you're like, yes, thank God we got some rain. Feel it. Express it. Allow yourself to be in your space of joy. I promise you it will cultivate more joy around you. Okay. And then finally, you've got the metamorphosis card, which just is a reminder to us, and spirit is saying to you, one of the things that really hit home not too long ago is that someone said, no one sees when the caterpillar is changing to the butterfly. They are encapsulated, right? We don't see the actual process of changing to the butterfly. It is going on in the cocooned process, right? All we see is what went in there and what came out. And that can be disarming to the people in our lives, right? Because many of you have been going through a metamorphosis and those butterfly wings are starting to pop out. Okay. And you about to shine. Just shine, y'all. Go ahead and shine. And let them see your shine. And if they don't recognize it and recognize you, so be it. But just stand fully in your metamorphosis. Spirit is saying that you are ready. You are stepping into a new level of you on your soul journey. Okay. And so in terms of bringing in your joy, it's like allowing yourself to fully receive your gifts from the universe and to celebrate and express them fully and openly in your world. Look at your communities, determine which communities you need to pull back from and which communities you need to maybe get more involved with, based on your heart, based on those that bring you joy. All right, that's the reading that I have for you. And the final card that you had underneath the deck was the Magic Prayer, which is an incredible card. And it really just says that your words right now, your prayers have like tenfold power, loves. So speak your word, speak that which you want to bring into your life and watch it get manifested for you. Beautiful reading, beloveds. Continue on your soul journey. Continue on your healing journey. Know that you are loved. Know that you are seen. Know that you are worthy. Okay? Thank you for joining the Abundant Joy Tarot. If you have not yet subscribed, please click that subscribe button for me. Drop a comment. Let me know what resonates with you. And I will see you in the next reading. All right. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to the Abundant Joy Tarot. This is Ade. And if you chose card number 8 here, be the hunter, not the hunted, this is your reading, okay? And we are talking about, how can I increase my joy? How can I increase my joy, God? Okay. This card is a very powerful card, okay? It is a space in which oftentimes, particularly those that are very feeling, those who are very giving and supportive of others can find themselves in. So we're going to have a little talking to today, okay, pile number 3, because I really want you to hear this message. This card talks about if you feel like you're at the beck and call of circumstances, situations, and relationships, things that are outside of your control, when your attention is being called away from what you love, from your passionate focus upon your own journey and creative expression, and pulled to focus or being roped in some ways to becoming a support, a tonic, a savior, or a heal-all for others. Okay? So what we need to be aware of is that there is a big difference between a healthy support in a relationship. So being supportive in a relationship is important. It's healthy. There are things that we can do, but there's a difference between doing that, which also includes supporting yourself, okay, within healthy relationships, to ignoring your own journey out of misplaced guilt, shame, unworthiness, or the belief that the needs of others are more important than your own. That is not compromise, okay? That is unhealthy and neglectful of yourself. And you're being asked to see through the assumptions, expectations, tantrums, manipulations that may be put upon you by yourself or others. See through them to the truth, okay? You can only sidestep or change your response to or choose to release that which you can recognize. So it's important for you to pay attention to the ways in which you are being moved around in your life like a leaf on the wind. All right? It's important for you to pay attention to you are not just a leaf, beloved. You are a whole rooted tree. Okay? And so therefore, you need to make sure that you are also paying attention to your own growth journey, to your own soul journey, and not being so manipulated that your tree is deadening from the root up, okay? And that all you are is a leaf floating on somebody else's wind, okay? That's not who you are meant to be, beloved. So this card is saying that you are capable of seeing the truth, of outsmarting old patterns that you may have had for yourself and responding more creatively to craft new and improved relationships. Okay? You don't have to be drawn into the drama of others or the suffering of repetitive struggles. Okay, you can become still and intent with a willingness to see the truth. And in doing so, you will be open to being shown another way through your inner wisdom and with the support of your guides and of God. All right, be the hunter and not the hunted. Okay, I love that for you. So this is really looking at releasing unhealthy patterns that you may have had, unhealthy connections, unhealthy relationships, ways that you show up. Because remember that ultimately you get to make the choice about what you accept in your life and what you do not. Okay, so there's something about your connections or how you're showing up or not, maybe showing up for others, but maybe not showing up for yourself, or vice versa, whatever it might be, that you need to take a look at. All right. So let's take a look. All right. So that's your overarching card. And now let's take a look at what is going on, God and Spirit. What is the current situation for my beloveds that chose pile number 3? What is going on for them with regards to their joy or lack of joy for these beautiful souls that chose pile number 3? Okay. What is the current situation? Pull 2 more. And okay, this one is coming up too. Okay, and this one is I don't normally. Well, I'll just do it because it's on the bottom of the deck. I normally do the bottom of the deck. Okay, so 6 of Wands. Okay, all right. Let's see. So this is the current situation. All right. All right, so you've got the Star. Now that came up in one of the other readings as the first card. I think it was the last reading. I think it was this pile 2. So if you felt also drawn to pile 2, I would encourage you to check it out. But let's see what we got here. The 9 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, 5 of Cups, and the Lovers. Okay. So in terms of what's going on in your current situation, at the bottom of the deck, you've got the 6 of Wands, which is wonderful. So there's some beautiful things that are happening for you, but I can see some of the struggle here. Okay, so let's take a look at it. So first of all, you've got the Star card, and this has to be covered because of YouTube, y'all, because she is in all her naked gloriness. But anyway, the Star card is about self-healing. Okay, it's about being on that journey of self-discovery, self-healing, self-love, self-knowing. Okay, so it lets me know that many of you all are on that path. Like you have, if some of you may be maybe earlier in the journey than pile number 2. So if you felt drawn to pile number 2 again, I would just say it's something to look at because it's a part of this healing journey that you may be on. All right. Now you've been seeing some reciprocity within your world and on your journey. With the 6 of Pentacles, it's a very generous card. It's about balancing of energies. So it's interesting that you've got this card, be the hunter and not the hunted, because some of you within your journey may be discovering, as I was kind of actually just talking about in that last pile, is you may be discovering some things about yourself that well, actually, what I'm hearing from you all. Okay, so let me just complete that thought. So you may be discovering some things about yourself that you accepted in the past as being okay. But as you go on your healing journey and you start to heal some of those wounds, those things are no longer acceptable to you. Certain ways that you've allowed yourself to be treated, certain ways that you've allowed yourself to be spoken to, those certain ways that you've allowed yourself to be silenced, okay? Be silenced or not heard, are going to no longer be acceptable to a healed or healing you, right? One that has a better knowledge of self, a stronger love of self. You know, it's like if there's somebody that you really love, you know, you're not going to stand by and let them be mistreated in a way that doesn't feel right to you because you love that individual. So if you're with somebody that you truly love and somebody just comes up and slaps them, right? You're going to be, whoa, hold up. Like, what are you doing? Right? That is not okay. Right? And you may take some action as a result of that, right? Because you love that individual. The same thing happens when we start to love ourselves, okay? Because when you start to love yourself, you may go into the same family dynamic, the same relationship dynamic, and this individual shows up and metaphorically slaps you in your face, whether it be their tone, the way they ignore you, the way they say something to you, that all of a sudden you wouldn't allow that with someone that you truly love. And if you're loving on yourself, you're like, you know what, this is not okay. And you start to stand up for yourself in a different way. And also, that was one piece of it. And the other piece of it that I'm seeing with the Six of Pentacles is that some of you, as a result of your healing journey, have now started to come into contact with situations either at work, situations with other loved ones, situations with new friends, situations within your community, where you are feeling the reciprocity of the situation. So in other words, you're going into situations, you may be meeting a friend where it's like, typically when you go out with your friends, you're always the one that, I can't think of another example, but maybe you're always the one that pays with a friend. Okay. Like you're always the one that pays. And you start meeting other people where like they offer to pay. They actually are like, well, I'll cover this for you, or I'll get this for you, or, I just want to do this for you. And all of a sudden you get this sense, this experience, if you will, of reciprocity, where it's like, that's really the way it should be, where things should be balanced. And you begin to want more of that in your life. Now, this is causing a conflict for you because right now, what's in the center of your reading is the Nine of Wands energy. The Nine of Wands energy is kind of like an overburdened energy. It's a need for you to persevere, to keep going when you've been holding the line for so long. So many of you, this is what can be really challenging about being on a healing journey, because as you start to get revelations within your healing journey, it becomes harder to remain in the status quo, tugging the line, right? Holding the burdens. The burdens get heavier because you're like, you now understand that you don't have to be experiencing this. Right? That something can shift. You begin to see something different that's possible for you in your life. All right. So the Nine of Wands here is saying, though, also, there's a need for you to persevere because you are close to the ending. You notice on this card that on these wands that he's struggling to carry, frankly, there is growth. There is new growth that is blossoming. Okay. So the work that you've been doing is growing. You are growing. Things are shifting. Okay. One of the things that can happen when you start to go on this healing journey is you begin to look at what it is that you either never had or you lost on the journey. And where we can get stuck in our healing journey and come to a bit of a pause is when we start to focus on what it is that we've lost, or focus on what we never had. Well, I never had someone to say I love you every night. I never had somebody to read me a bedtime story. I never had, like those kinds of things can begin to fog our vision of what we still have. What are the two cups that we have? We've developed a soul family that is loving and reciprocal and doing things for us. We've developed deep friendships that are long lasting, that we cherish and celebrate in our lives. Like we have a job that works for us, or, what are the two things, what are the two cups that are still there, filling and overflowing for you. Okay. There's a need for you to be mindful, because we're asking, what is the situation of not focusing on the loss, but focusing on what is still remaining. Now, you've also got the Lover's card. Now, this could indicate for some of you that this has to do with a relationship of some kind, or that there is something about a heart-centered relationship that you're inquiring about too, in terms of finding joy within that relationship. But what is really standing out to me, to be quite honest, is that the Lover's card is about choice. And oops, I hope that they don't have it is about choice. Okay. The Lover's card is about choice. And I feel like, it's about making heart-centered choices. Heart-centered choices. I mean, they weren't like in their all in their full, naked glory. So hopefully they'll be okay with that. But anyway, the Lover's card is about choice, and it's about making heart-centered choices. So I feel that because we're looking at what is the current situation right now, I feel like what this is telling me is that you're on a healing journey. You've been opening into some things. There's some reciprocity. There's some generosity that's been coming your way. You've been carrying a lot of burdens, and although you're continuing to persevere, you're also starting to focus on the things that you've lost and not focusing on what you still have, and you're being presented with some other choices. All right. And in making those choices, that is what is going to bring you to this success, right? Because that's what the Six of Wands is. It talks about not only success in a really great way, but it's a community success. It's a recognized success. It is a success in which other people are celebrating you as well. Okay. So in regards to your joy, there's some choice that needs to be made here. There's some shift in what you are focusing on. But let's talk and ask Spirit specifically about what might be blocking you at this time. What is blocking my beautiful pile 3 from increasing their joy at this time? What is blocking my beautiful pile 3? And we've got survival and curiosity. Okay, interesting. Interesting, because you've got strength at the bottom of the deck. Let's pull some tarot cards for my beautiful pile 3. We're, again, Spirit, looking into what is blocking pile 3 from increasing the joy in their worlds. Okay. There's a lot going on here. Let me see. This card flipped over. We've got the Page of Cups, the King of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. I had only been pulling 3, and at the bottom of the deck we've got the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so what is blocking you from increasing your joy? Okay, so a couple of things are coming to me. First off, survival stands out really strongly. When we are focused on our day-to-day, the basic needs of getting our needs met, that can stop us from being able to do the things that we need to do. So one of the things that Spirit is saying about the survival card is this also requires an element of trust, okay? An element of trust in being able to find the joy within your survival. The other thing that you've got here is curiosity. Now, curiosity here is interesting. I always see curiosity as a positive thing, okay? However, we'll ask Spirit for what is blocking you, all right? And so what this leads me back to, I keep coming back to this, be the hunter and not the hunted. So part of this idea of this curiosity, because it's like it's in this home, and it's like I've just seen like this crow on the wall. It's like a family portrait, and it's like going into somebody else's home, right? And getting down into the details of what's going on in their home. So some of you all may be taking on more burden than you need to take on. This is what came, y'all, excuse me, but this is what came to me. You need to mind your business. This is what I heard, okay? So please don't take offense to that. That's just what I heard, that you need to mind your business, because you got a lot of stuff going on. So you don't need to investigate further in things that are really not aligned with you. Now, I'm hearing very clear, this is not in regards to your own family history. Some of you may be uncovering some things within your own history that is also blocking you, okay? That your curiosity in terms of finding out what's going on in your own family history is blocking some of your joy, okay? That's just a fact of what's happening, but that's not in relationship to what I said before, mind your own business. So some of you, yes, you are digging into some things within your family history that is a part of your healing journey. Okay. It's going to be important for you. But what's important for you to do is not get lost in that, not allow whatever it is that you uncover to stop you or hinder your joy in any way. So for instance, let's just say you find some family secret that's hurtful to you in some way. Maybe it's something deep, like really deep, like you discovered that your mama's not your mama, okay? And that just opens up a whole situation in terms of the dynamic within your family, right? For many of you that are listening to this, Paul, that is obviously not going to be the situation. But anything that you might discover, what the Spirit is telling me that you need to know is that what is truth, okay? So it is important for you to understand that regardless of what you discover about your family history, your own history, anything that was from the past, anything that you uncover or discover, even if it's happening right now, does not take away from your divine right to joy, love, and abundance. Does not defer it at all, okay? All it does is give you additional insight to be able to get there, to cultivate it, to receive it more quickly, okay? So I hope that resonates with you. That is what the information that I'm giving. Understand that survival is a specific, what is the word? What are they trying to do? It is a specific period of time. Survival is not a lasting thing, right? Yeah, we always need to survive, but we're not always in survival mode. And as you move through your healing, you will be able to alleviate the survival mode that you're in. But one of the ways to increase your joy is to find the joy in the little things, even in the survival. If you're literally just like trying to get from meal to meal, the joy comes when that next meal comes and you've got it in front of you. Okay. That joy comes when you use the resources you have and do something creative with it. Think ahead of time about like, okay, let me make sure I go ahead and get the gas tank or save an extra $1 in doing what I need to do. If you're in that type of survival mode, okay, which many of us have been. Sometimes I still am. So just about, making those choices, but finding the joy in the process of your life, even if you're in survival mode. Now, you've also got here the Page of Cups, which is the Page of Cups has this pigs, that saying, when pigs fly. So in other words, it's impossible, right? Something that is beyond what we think is possible. But the Page of Cups believes when pigs fly, has that sense of faith that things are possible, that he can elevate here, that he brings a message of love. All right, is what the Page of Cups is. But we're talking about what's blocking you from increasing your joy. Okay. And what I'm getting from you is there's a need for you there's twofold here. One, there's a need for you to increase your faith in what's possible for you. And two, come to a space with this King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is very abundant, very successful. And the way that he does that is by diligently working on something. So there's a need for you to find the balance between the Page of Cups and the King of Pentacles, meaning having a sense of belief, but not believing so far in something that is fantastical that you're not going to get there, and not doing the diligent work that you need to do to succeed. Okay, so the King of Pentacles gets to this abundant place, to this place of relaxation where everything has fallen in place in his life because he has slowly but deliberately taken steps forward to move himself in the direction of success. And so part of what's happening in terms of blocking you is you're either fantasizing too much about things that are beyond your reach and then feeling like it's so impossible that you don't take a step toward it. Okay. So there's this balance of having the visioning, believing in the impossible, if you will. What may feel impossible to you today will not feel impossible to you tomorrow if you take a step today in that direction, even if you don't know what the next step will be, but just take one step in that direction and more will unfold before you. The other thing is you've got this 8 of Wands here in terms of what's blocking you from receiving your joy. And this is about having illusions about how you're even seeing yourself. She's in the mirror thinking that she is all tied and trapped and consumed and blindfolded and unable to move forward, that the conditions of her life have put her into a place where she cannot move. She cannot take the steps forward. But this card says very clearly, this is all an illusion. It is all an illusion. The swords, it's all about a mental process. It's all about what's in our head, what we're thinking about, our ideas and thoughts and things like that. So it's like you're allowing your thoughts to overrun what is really possible for you. Okay, beloveds? So it's really important for you to look clearly at what you really see in the mirror. Push away the delusions, push away the assumptions that you've believed about what is possible for you, and trust and know that you are a divine gift, light of God, and that all things are possible for you. Okay? So there's a need for you to shift that. Now let's go to Spirit now and ask what it is that pile number 3, my beautiful pile number 3, needs to know or do to increase the joy in their life. Right now. Spirit, what is it? Beautiful. King of Pentacles again. I love it. And she is beautiful. 5 of Swords. Okay, we're going to talk about that. Queen of Swords. The Star. Look at that. And what do we have? 10 of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. Gorgeous. All right. So what we've got here is, what do you need to know or do to increase your joy? So let's get back to that. So we talked about this King of Pentacles working diligently, right? So the King of Pentacles, look at this though. I love that she's all in yellow. There's just so much joy in this card. And their kingdom is literally at the top of the head. It's about your imagining too. Pile number 3, what are you imagining for yourself? What is your King of Pentacles? In other words, what is your end result? What does that really look like? Have you allowed yourself to dream as big as the Page of Cups, to believe in what is not possible, to actually envision it in your mind? What does it look like? You've got to be able to see it in your mind. We have so much access now to different images. You know, if you think, gosh, I would really like to be a swimmer. I would really like to go to Thailand. I would really like to do whatever. Google, get on that Google, y'all. Get the images. Start getting some images in your head. What would it look like? And imagine yourself in that place. If you want to go to Thailand, imagine yourself surrounded by some of the environment that you see within Thailand. If you wanted to be a swimmer, imagine yourself in that swimsuit at the side of the pool doing what you need to do. Swimming is kind of an odd one, but that, maybe it is. Somebody out there maybe wants to be a swimmer. If you want to be a business person, if you want to be a teacher, if you want to be a performer, whatever it may be, begin to see yourself as that individual. Allow your joy to come forward. Feel what it feels like to be fully abundant. The King of Pentacles is not sitting up there worrying about survival. Okay, that is not on their mind. When you're in survival mode, you have different things that take up the space in your brain. And in order to shift that energetically, you need to begin to fill your brain with more of what you would be thinking about and holding when your physical space is more like the King of Pentacles and less like survival. So it's about shifting your thinking, because this is where you're going, loves. Now you've got this 5 of Swords. Now there's nothing more to say about that 5 of Swords. That 5 of Swords, you can see it is a battle. Okay, there is pain here. She is literally ripped out the heart. Okay, and so there's this sense of, struggle, strife, frustration. There's a need for you, when we talk about increasing your joy, to be able to shift how you're thinking about the struggles in your life. Okay, continue to, again, go back to be the hunter and not the hunted. And you've got the Queen of Swords here, who can handle the Five of Swords because she is balanced. She is judgmental. She's not judgmental. That's not the word I'm looking for. She is balanced and decisive and able to make judgments, is what I'm trying to say, like balanced judgments. She uses her intellect and her mental capacity to propel herself forward. Here, she's looking out on the horizon. And I think that is so perfect for this particular pile, because part of what you're being asked to do here is to envision what is your future, what is possible for you in the future, to look out beyond what is your current world and out into the world beyond, so that you can lift yourself into that space. The Queen of Swords is very abundant. She is brilliant. She is able to make decisions easily and swiftly, and she is able to envision and strategically move herself to the world that she sees for herself, conquering whatever she needs to conquer in any sort of Five of Swords energy. Okay, so there's a need for you to step into that energy. And then you've also got the Star card. Now, the Star card here is also about healing. Now, again, we are starting the reading and ending the reading with the Star card. You started it with healing. So what it tells me is that as a part of your joy, increasing your joy, you've got to continue on your path of self-healing, self-love, increasing your capacity for knowing thyself. Okay, this is a part of the work that you're already on, that you're already doing. But you need to keep on that path, because it is a multi-layered path. And at the bottom of the deck, you've got this beautiful 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups. Oh, it is a wish fulfilled. It is love. It is abundance. It is joy. You can see this rainbow over the top here. This rainbow is interesting because right under that, you got the Eight of Pentacles, which is, again, affirming for me that it's about you taking it one step at a time, building your land to, building your world to that King of Pentacles. Okay. And there we go. Yeah. Okay. So the final word, so these cards I was pulling, what's final guidance from Spirit in terms of, your journey toward increasing your joy. All right. And you've got Rescue, the Field of Dreams, and Slow and Steady. I love this Rescue card because what it is saying is that you can go to the top of the mountain. The Spirit will always be out there to give you the hand. A rescue is on the way. This is 1-6, which also turns into 7. For those of you who are, it's important for you with the numbers. But the Rescue card is letting me know that the universe is on its way to rescue you. If you feel like you are drowning in survival mode, if you feel like you are being hunted rather than being the hunter, the universe is saying the rescue is here. You are always safe and secure and free to be yourself. Asking for help isn't easy, but it is important, okay? That is what you need to do now as you expand your life. If you find yourself troubled, you can expect help with whatever issue is at hand. You need only ask, and assistance will come your way. The most important support you can expect is from Spirit. Get into a right relationship with the divine, and you'll see that many conditions line up as if by magic to provide you with all the help that you need. Ask, and you shall receive, beloveds. Okay. The Field of Dreams, I love so much with these fairies up in here. This field of dreams is like they're literally sitting on these eggs ready to hatch abundance, joy, creative projects, relationships into your world. All things are possible for you, and it is connected with the magic in the universe that is tied in to your field of dreams. Okay, so Spirit is really confirming for us that you are stepping into a new land, that help is available for you, and that many things are birthing. Many things are going to be cracking open for you if you continue on this path and do this path slow and steady. Okay, again, it's that same energy of the Pentacles. Slow and steady wins the race is what this card is. Okay, remember that. Remember that this is a time for easy movement, unhurried steps, and a steady heart. Trust that taking life at a more leisurely pace will give you greater access to your dreams. Slowing down allows more contact with the juicier elements of your life. Savor them. Okay. So this reading is very clear to me. As you on this journey, you're going to be seeing different things. There's a need for you to slow down for yourself. Slow down to speed up. Okay. Continue to do the work. Continue to dream big, because the possibilities for you are endless. Trust that Spirit will rescue you, and your community is there to help you as well. All you need to do is ask for help. Okay. So that is what I am seeing for you on this journey of today's reading of How Do I Increase My Joy? I think this is a beautiful reading for you, Pile 3. I hope that you received what you needed to receive from it. It was my honor to read for you today. Thank you so much for joining the Abundant Joy Tarot, and I will joyfully see you next time. If you have not clicked that subscribe button, please click that subscribe button for me. Share the video, comment, let me know what resonates with you, and I'll see you next time. All right. Have an abundantly joyful day. Bye-bye.